everybody? This is Lee with Third Route Music Center. I'm here with the one and the only Mr. Richie Terbush, living legend. I'm a huge fan of yours. I'm so happy you came in today. Not because I want to rip off your licks, and I do, but that's not the main reason.
Feel free, my man.
And the only thing I forgot when I was like trying to figure this out about ripping off your licks is even though I could see you do them, I could write them down, I could record them like we've seen here, but I'd still have to be able to play them, and therein lies the issue. So we're here today. Thank you so much for coming out to talk about what you've got going on and to talk about the RK5 V2 Richie Kotzen model fly ring.
I love it, brother. You can throw it in your gig bag, a few cables, has an XLR on it.
It's got a tuner on it now.
Has a tuner. In a band called Three Piece Revival. We're out of Cincinnati, Ohio. I used to be in a band called the Rusty Griswolds, a Cincinnati staple. It's me on guitar and my other guitarist, Sean McGarry of the Naked Karate Girls. We have a great vocalist, but recently started going from acoustic to electric as well. And I think
if bands weren't worried before, they probably are now.
We're not using amps.
There's a ton of advantages to that, as you know.
Yes.
Stage volume, your back, not carrying as much gear.
Right.
You're using in-ears.
In-ears, we're doing in-ears.
So it's a pretty sleek stage setup. There's not a lot of cables and stuff like that.
It's a no-brainer.
No monitors.
No monitors. It's compact. It has all the tones you need in this little thing. It's light as a feather. It sounds great.
You've used this without an amp.
I've used this without an amp. I plugged it in. I actually used it for my gig without really dialing it in, but it still performed killer. It was perfect. The clean is insane. If we're doing disco or funk, Ed Sheeran to
Paul Abdul,
90s and everything in between. So
is in this middle section. It's called the Sans Amp section. So you're turning on an amp emulation. Gives you all of the EQs and capabilities you would have on the amp. A 3-band EQ. You've got your bass, mid, and treble.
Right.
You've got a drive and a volume. And you've got a reverb.
Yep.
So all that's right there. You're already duplicating the same types of capabilities you have with a tube amplifier.
With a tube amp.
And I say tube because it reacts like a tube amp would, and the fact that the more you turn up the drive, the more it's going to cook those virtual tubes that it doesn't have.
Right.
But the harder you play, the more it drives, probably, and things like that.
Yes.
So that's why guitar players like this so much, is because it's not like some of the old products from some of the other companies we're not going to talk about doing that, and they make a better product now. But when we all started using amp emulation and things like that, and it was missing that reactive kind of living, breathing, you and your amp is one type thing. I think you hit it harder and it stayed the same.
Right.
The compression, it didn't kick in, so it does that. So you've got the middle section. You like that, I think, first of all, was the thing that first impressed you about this was that it sounded like an amp.
It sounded like an amp.
The OMG section of this is kind of like having an additional stomp box that you can add to that.
Right, right.
Distortion.
Distortion.
Overdrive. A little bit of meat for your potatoes.
Yep.
Yeah, and so you can turn that on and off. It's got a drive, a tone, and a level. So your overall volume, your overall drive, how much distortion or overdrive do you want, and then a tone, how bright or dark do you want it.
Yep.
And I know with you playing, I mean, and as some of the clips you've heard on here, going from the classic rock vibe to the metal
vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they put a boost on the end of this. Now the boost is cool because you can leave that on all the time. You can boost your solos with it. You don't have to have the OMG section on. So if you just have a clean tone coming from the Sans Amp side, you can turn the boost on and boost that up.
Boost your tone, yep.
Or drive it more if you want some more percussive. You have the opportunity to switch between the boost, or they just added a compressor to it.
Which is killer.
Either or. That's all that. You also on the OMG side can switch from the OMG Overdrive distortion to a fuzz. Then you go over and you have a delay section. What do you think of the delay?
I thought it was killer.
Because I thought it was so good. It's got a tap tempo on there.
Right.
So what they did was they already had the delay on there, but they added the option to switch between a delay or a rotary speaker.
Which gives you more
like a tremolo,
like a chorusy kind of vibe.
Exactly.
It's nice in its own right.
So that's really cool. And then they added, reverb was always on there, but now you have room sizes.
Room.
And a level.
And you can click the button and you have less reverb.
Exactly, that's right, depending on what size of virtual room you want to be in.
Right.
These guys do some pretty big, high-profile gigs. Richie Terbush is not to talk to you about like you're not here. Richie Terbush is a very accomplished guitar player. You'd be hard-pressed to find a better guitar player in this area, and I imagine if you went to even another planet, or another solar system in a galaxy far, far away, that if anybody gets abducted, I'm saying it's going to be him. They're going to take him back to wherever they're at, the aliens, and they're going to use you for a band there, I think.
Use me.
So, yeah. So you like it?
I love
you
it.
Give it your stamp of approval?
I would recommend this to anyone who doesn't want to carry a big old amp or even a small amp. It's all right here. It has the tones. It's compact. It can go in your guitar case. It's really killer.
It's like $329.
Yes.
You can practice. I didn't even say this. You could plug headphones into it. And
Plug
practice with
headphones.
it.
Yep.
I think if you're setting up your in-ears, you could plug your in-ears straight into this and dial this in, and that's what the sound's going to sound like that goes to the front of the house. You're going to be pretty close.
Right.
But even better because the speakers will be bigger.
Right.
So today also I wanted to say we're using this plug straight into it's a QSC. It's a CP12. That's a 1,000-watt, $499 speaker.
Sounded killer.
Sounded killer. Sounded really, really good. I mean, I know you got to be a good player to make it sound as good as he did. That's for sure. But so that's really cool. And again, tell them again how they can find you. Do you have a YouTube page? You do videos. You do instructional videos and all kinds of stuff.
You can go to Richie Terbush on YouTube.
And I'll put a link in down here in the description as well.
Follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. Go to 3piecerevival.com to see our upcoming shows and events. I do Skype lessons. Please get a hold of me.
Absolutely, man. Well, I thank you so much for being here. Thanks so much
brother.
for letting us hear you do this.
Yeah.